So, AC Milan have been drawn as our quarter-final opponents in the Champions League. We'll be doing that along with Everton today and then Chelsea in the FA Cup semi-final tomorrow. 4 matches in a row, all coming to your eyes, so be prepared. So in the interest in getting things going as quickly as possible in today's episode, I'll just run you through the previous results since we last met. Huddersfield 4-0, demolition job. 2 goals in either half, 4 different scorers. Liverpool was a 1-0 victory away in the FA Cup quarter-final. Silva getting that in the second half, and Milan getting sent off for 2 yellow cards again. I'm looking at right-backs. I love the lad, but he's a liability, apparently. Literally the only person to get booked. And 3-1 at Villa Park, the team at the bottom of the table, Aston Villa, so good, really. We kind of got complacent after we scored the third one and let one in, so all done. What that means is, at this stage, we are 9 points clear of Arsenal, who lost to Everton in the league recently, which does make, actually, 6th, 7th, 8th and 9th a very interesting duel there for those last 2 European spots, 52, 54, 52, 52, 49 there. Worth noting, Newcastle have messed it up and now sit in 14th. One day will allow actually to be competent for the entire season. So bafflingly, it's saying we've only played Milan once and beaten them once, despite the fact we played him over 2 legs in the Europa League a couple of years ago. Just to make sure I'm not going crazy. Yes, won 1, drew 1. Kovalev is an interesting player right now. He is theoretically our 3rd best left back, but significantly the best performer in that position. So I'll give him the nod here. The rest of the lineup is as you would expect, except for right back of course, where both players are suspended. What are you boys doing? Christian will be in goal, Kovalev, Azata, Rick and Courage on the back line to fill in there. Thankfully Courage is a competent right back. Not amazing, but competent. Grimes, Vidarson, Ramirez, Vidal and Cantoro. And Silva, our best performer over the course of the year up front, so he gets that position there. So just this competition left to win, and obviously a Club World Cup technically, if we want to go that far. Be real people in there, including a very surprising one actually. That'll be why it's not Davy Proper. I saw D Proper, made assumptions. But of course they got Pixley and John Max, who I'm fairly certain isn't a natural right back. Nope. Have they got right back issues as well? We've also got the Englishman Bleedy Redjepi on that left-hand side, who is pretty good. Did look at him a couple of times myself, but he's a winger rather than an inside forward. Would have to retrain him. And then the very dangerous Zanelli on that right-hand side. Yeah, he's a good player. Doesn't like big matches, apparently. I just hope this one counts. And of course, Donnarumma's still in goal. Still plenty young for a goalkeeper. And if a Champions League quarter-final is not the moment to pull out the media line, then I don't know what is, really. It is also worth noting that the English clubs in the Champions League have royally messed it up this year. Tottenham, in a group that I said was winnable, were 3rd. And Manchester United have been knocked out by Barcelona in the last round as well. So, Boding has scored, and that doesn't bode well. Right, pretty even game in the first 22 minutes, actually, apart from this. So just Zanelli wanders, and I don't really know. I'm not really sure what Christian's positioning was there. We're not going to see this. I mean, he's barely onside, and he's actually more onside than he looked there, because the trailing leg of number 14 was way further back. But yeah, bizarrely, out of the top 4 teams of last year's Premier League, the teams in 2nd and 3rd are already out. It's Liverpool the only one that remain with us. And should we get past Milan somehow now, we can't face them until the final either, because they've been drawn in the opposite semi-final pairing. So we have the winners of Bayer Leverkusen, who are in our group, of course, and Bayern Munich. So guaranteed German team should we win this somehow. Now, Pixie, a player that I do kind of like, and if we didn't have enough good defenders already, might go for. Dante, Redjepi. I'm moving this quite nicely, and it does worry me. I'm not going to lie, I toyed with the idea of using the defensive midfielder formation. I feel like I'm regretting it right now. Proper on the edge of the box, he's going to lash. Oh my god. Zanelli the provider again, so 2 assists for him, although this one isn't necessarily an exquisite assist. He just gives it to him. Just what is that? From Grimes, just gets nowhere near him. Nowhere near him. It's worth noting they have scored 2 goals from no clear-cut chances, which says a lot. Right, Kovalev will get to that. Ramirez just about keeps hold of that possession for us. Kovalev switches on if they can get it to either of these 2 players over here. Vidarson, though, moves forward. Silva, Donnarumma. We put 6 past Donnarumma last time we met, over both legs. So far, not quite the same. I mean, obviously we're going to get aggressive with them. All right, so what are these lads playing at? I don't know. Rick at the back post, that's something we like to see. Silva's... Oh, no, he hasn't. Nope, never mind. Pointless block highlight. Of course, we are operating really without a proper right back, but there's bad performances further forward in the field which worry me more. Odegaard with a free kick to make this even worse. He's made it even worse. I was feeling confident about this matchup. They've scored 3 goals with no clear-cut chances. We've had 2. Just get these absolute frauds off this pitch right now. I'm not sure who I'm more disappointed in between Cantoro and Ramirez, so I'll let them both stay on the pitch for a little bit of redemption. Cantoro got to 6.6 first, so Carpentier's on. Anyone? Anything? Anything at all? Right, there's a... Oh god, it's a highlight for them! Right, we need Liverpool levels of comeback here. Godoy actually has got underneath that. Great work from him. Is this the moment he gets redeemed from basically 3 months of poor performances? Carpentier's... Oh, he's assisted Carpentier. And the substitutes have got one back. A crucial away goal, of course. A crucial away goal. I've got a question about... I mean, is this the time to bring Godoy back into the first team fold? The question's there. By the way, in case you're wondering why Seri's not starting, I don't know either. Of late, they've been suggesting we start Grimes and Vidarson. His form over the last 5 isn't brilliant, but his season form is very good. He's back in the team. He's going back in the team. There's no reason why he shouldn't. Oh, he's just scored his first Brazil goal, surprisingly, after 25 appearances. Vidarson scored his first international goal as well during the same window after 48 appearances. I have no idea how it's taken either of those guys that long to get a goal. Oh, in case you're wondering how the youth poaching is going, I basically only target English clubs or any European club that happened to have an intake during the time the major English clubs had to go, just mainly because I want players who can join us straight away, rather than in a few years' time. I might have also signed former Prime Minister David Cameron. I mean, he's not any good. I also want to clarify one thing, by the way, in regards to this. Not David Cameron, I mean youth intake poaching. Pretty much every set of it is affected by the player's club. So whilst obviously their value at their club, 230k for David Cameron at Manchester City, isn't a lot. I signed him purely on his name basis. One thing that is usually a good indicator if the player's actually going to be any good is if they're at a reasonable club to start with, if they ask you for a youngster contract, they're probably not going to be good enough. Obviously, that line gets a bit blurred the less reputable the club they're coming from is. There's a player who's coming from Crewe who's coming on a youngster contract, who I think might be quite good. But that's a Crewe. Also, keep an eye on Crewe, because for some reason, for the club that they are, their intake comes through quite early. And it comes through early for a reason, and sometimes they end up with a few good ones. We've already nabbed one earlier in the year. I think it was Batham's. Oh no, Armstrong, the other attacking midfielder. By the way, I think I've been duped by this guy. He was valued at 3.4 million when we poached him. He's now worth 875k, which is still admittedly on the higher side for Tottenham. And he does have potential ability, maybe 3.5 stars, so we'll see on that one. But just an example of value per club. Now, the Scottish leagues haven't necessarily done particularly well in my save so far, so 84k for a 15-year-old at Rangers stands out, just to make that clear. As an example of clubs that don't necessarily have the most expensive, highest value youngsters. He's 4, maybe 5 star. Bear in mind the quality of my scouts these days. We can probably trust that, to a degree anyway. Irritatingly, he doesn't join for 2 years though, because apparently Scottish players count as foreign in that regard. I don't understand either. Well, that's made my decision for the next match easier. See you in a few weeks, Alor. Kind of annoying though, because he was in form up until last game. Ah, that's problematic. He was actually in a bit of form. 7 to 8 weeks with a specialist. Off you go, sunshine. Kovalev's out for a couple of days, but that's fine. He probably would have been too tired to play against Everton anyway. Leeds bizarrely have this player in their lineup, and they might get relegated. Says he's a centre-back, by the way. He's not. He's a right-back. Keep an eye on that new Willian. Right, so just a couple of rest. Actually, Vidal's not that tired. I was about to say just to rest a few important people, but Vidal's still on 96%. Christian's going to be in goal. Saxton in left back, of course. As Arthur Parkinson steps in. Rick's not really tired either, but whatever. Shannon on the right back. Grimes and Seri take over the middle for the time being. Carpentier, Vidal and Cantoro probably will come off at some point just to preserve him, and Godoy up front. Now, Everton recently scalped Arsenal. Still bothers me they have a player like this in their midfield on 200 grand a week. And this lad on the right-hand side is pretty handy too. He's not a fullback. I mean, he has 11 tackling. It's not terrible. He's better than Sessegnon in that regard. He's very much a winger, though. And of course, Hidalgo's in goal. And it's worth noting that loss to Milan is the first time we've lost a game. Since Real Madrid, actually. I was about to say it's the first time we've lost since Liverpool in January, but we did lose to Real Madrid, of course, in the second leg. Where we just about saved ourselves. Azarta scored a goal, and welcome back. He's not gone anywhere. Just for some reason, we're not targeted him as much. Like when it comes to corners, obviously Rick's been in the Azarta role. mostly, so I might look into that. I might look into swapping Azart and Rick on the actual set pieces. I thought he'd be okay because he's of a similar sort of height and heading ability. That really should have been a goal from Keane. I have no idea how he's managed to miss that. Also, Everton beating Arsenal has opened the door for Manchester United to sneak back into second. They do have 2 games in hand on us. So whilst the gap looks like it's 12 points, it actually isn't. Oh god, Keane scored. I got momentarily distracted by the league table and forgot to actually pay attention to the game. So I was just thinking, Tottenham in 5th, through to Man United in 2nd is quite tight. Saxton did really well to get a tackle there and somehow doesn't come out with the ball. Football Manager 2020 in a nutshell right there. People can complain about the one-on-ones all they bloody like. That's what I want fixed. I've said it plenty of times. Azarta smashes it at Andrinho. And away they come now. Actually, is this going to be a chance for them or is it going to... He's offside. Pretty certain we played him offside. There we are. This starts with a corner, so it's over as well. Xiaonan back to Xiaonan again. Cantoro. Xiao. Godoy's there. Godoy's... for God's sake. Cantoro whips another one in and that's dealt with. I've just swapped Parkinson and Azant around on the pitch. It's easier than going into all the set pieces for this match. But I'll try to remember to fix that for next time. Saxon's on a 6.4. What are you doing, lad? Now, 1-1, of course, in the grand scheme of things, isn't a terrible result. Everton, along with Man City, are really the only 2 matches we probably have a... Like, Everton and Man City are the only 2 major sides in the sort of run-in, as it were. The rest we should be getting 3 points from. Almost guaranteed. If we mess up against any of them, it will be a bottle, essentially. Everton and Man City, though, they're the only 2 I wouldn't be super angry if we dropped points to, although we've had 15 shots now, and only 5 on target. 4 blocked, admittedly, but chance conversion training is going in, I think. We are forcing them back. This is an irritating amount of passes in a highlight. Gory is... he's done well there, actually. It's got to be... If he'd scored there, I'd have been very, very mad. And our favourite player, Amaro Mbalo, is on. Almost forgot they still had him, actually, as that goes over. I have no easy way to fix any of this, but Vidarson's on for a slightly tiring Grimes. Cantoro's also off just to preserve him. And Godoy's, he was on a 6.3, so shift Carpentier up and get Madeira on. Vidal with a very deep free kick. That looks like he's heading towards Azart. It doesn't quite get to him. Parkinson will gather and find someone in red. Thank you. And somehow, it's a great one by Parkinson, who isn't a left-sided player other than just being in left-sided defence. Madeira. Yep, saw that one coming. And save, thank God. What was the 40-yard back pass about? And I don't know why I said back pass, but I'm furious about this. Rubbish corner. Somehow they managed to get another one out of that. Right, I might need to G the lads up. Because that's 2 very... admittedly, we have actually kind of been on top of that one. We've just not made it count. When your defender's your best player, you know it's not been a good game. So that didn't really go quite as I hoped. Tomorrow, of course, we'll welcome Milan and deal with Chelsea in the FA Cup semi-final. Hopefully it'll go a little bit better than it did today. Until then, ta-ra.